Hello and welcome to a brand new series here on Gamer Reality.
The series Is It a Keeper is made on the premise of the Steam and Oculus refund policy that lets you receive a full refund if you return a game that you've played for less than 2 hours and owned less than 14 days.
In this video, I'll be letting you know if you should try, keep, or just stay away from the game I Expect You to Die. The reason I decided to pick up and try this older title is because of its long-lasting popularity and success, as well as a new sequel coming out this year.
I played it on my Oculus Quest 2 because the graphics and gameplay didn't seem to suffer that much on the Quest version. For $25, you get 4 missions and 3 free DLCs, even on the Quest. After 2 hours of playing, I was able to complete all 4 base missions and 1 of the DLCs. I do want to mention this here. If you haven't done a room escape, aren't familiar with puzzle games, or haven't finished high school, this game will pose some challenges for you. It was very fun to solve some complex problems in this game, sometimes by dumb luck, other times by using some obscure knowledge I had from watching a YouTube video, but I can see many of these moments as too difficult to pass. Not a big spoiler here, but there was a moment in the submarine level where you have to get a frag grenade out of a gearbox. If you pulled it out, the handle would come off and you would die. The thing you had to notice was that its pin is out, which is the reason why the handle would fall off. Lucky for me, I'd watched an in-depth video about how a grenade works and knew that I had to put some kind of pin in it to keep it from exploding. Without that knowledge, I would have been very stuck. All of this to say that it isn't as lighthearted and forgiving as Job Simulator, but that may make you want this game even more. I'd have to say that the art and variety of levels are great. The locations felt like something straight out of a James Bond movie. The gameplay is good, but I expected to die more often and use that knowledge like the movie Groundhog Day, where one person had the same day repeated many times. And who doesn't like playing with guns and explosives? Also, before I played the game, I heard about the level design process the devs took. They would construct a cardboard cutout model of the objects around them and see how it fit into a real space. That mental image helps you imagine how such a small space was maximized with hidden secrets and tools that I wouldn't find until my 3rd try. So here's my tip to you when you try this game. Look from floor to ceiling in an almost 360-degree circle around you. And for these reasons, I would say that you must try this game. Now, we'll discuss some factors that determine if you should keep it. Length and replayability are the 2 factors that I'll be going over in this video. The length is short for this title. I'd say you can get about 4 solid hours of gameplay out of this. Like I said, in 2 hours, I beat 5 of the missions, so the remaining 2 might have run for another hour. Then I would have probably kept playing it to try to get faster times, as the game accurately tracks and reports the time for you. Unfortunately, the length isn't extended due to its lack of replayability. Once you've solved all the levels and gone through it a couple more times to get your best score, I wouldn't see myself playing this again. But this brings up a good point. Maybe I won't be the one playing this again? Replayability should also factor in how many people you show it to. Personally, I have a bunch of games I would like to show my friends who have an hour or a day to try VR, but this isn't a game I would really let them try. If it's one of their first times, they would probably be too overwhelmed with the controls and how impressive this technology is that they wouldn't want to solve the complex problems. Honestly, their replayability problem could be fixed with something I've seen in another spy-themed game called Defector. I played that game recently and it honestly blew my mind, mostly because of all the detailed character models and perfect animations throughout the whole thing. It was the closest I had felt to being inside of a movie so far. Anyways, there was always a list of missions for the current level, and you could see them in a big checklist at any time. However, since the game had branching story paths, it meant that you couldn't do all the missions the first time around. That made me want to replay all the levels really badly. I know this is an escape room game, but if they wanted replayability, then this is what they could have done. It's not like creating a whole new level, it's just adding alternate ways of reaching the final goal. Just a final thought for you developers and creators out there.
I would say that this game is not a keeper, but definitely a must try. It's very similar to my thoughts on buying Job Simulator. I just had to buy it when I first got my VR headset, but now that I've played it for a week, I really haven't ever thought about going back to it. Also, give those like and subscribe buttons a try because I make a lot of in-depth VR-only content on my channel, as well as making my own VR games and posting them and sharing them with the channel as well. Also, click on this playlist to see all the other episodes in this series, where I cover tons of games from newer games to older hidden gems that you may have missed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in another video.